What's up, guys? This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. You're listening to Bob Culture Podcast.
I'd like to welcome you to paradise, where everyone is riding on a satellite, sending signals, praying for miracles. We should have seen this coming. Hear me out, because I'm only gonna say this one more time. Hear me out, and open your eyes and take a look at all the signs. You think I'm crazy, but I'm not the only one. Call me crazy. I've been thinking maybe we are not alone. Call me crazy. I've been thinking lately, it's been the same way all along.
All right, Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into a very special BCP Royal Rumble edition. I popped for the little Wayne's World right there, inside joke. But guys, please welcome in. I think we're live finally. Our very special Royal Rumble edition of the BCP, sponsored by our friends over at Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, located in Englishtown, New Jersey, over at the Flea Market from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check them out online. We got Turtles, Ghostbusters, vintage wrestling stuff, all the wrestling stuff, let's be real, vintage video games, horror stuff. Check them out online on their eBay store, Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore.com. And guys, we have our all-star stellar panel. Please welcome back to the show. You know her from, let's be real, every promotion literally ever. Goddesses of War, Kimmy Talks Wrestling, the BCP Elite POV. She'll be at Baltimore Celeb Fest, so many things, the pop break, all that stuff. Kimmy's so cool. What's up, Kimmy?
I was going to say, how could you forget our special running guest that's coming soon? How could you forget the popbreak.com and Bill? Damn. But I'm good, busy. Obviously, I'm back at school, which kind of sucks, but we're 4 months away from getting that degree.
Congrats.
But thanks. But yeah, we have Rob, we have Nunez, and Mike's here.
Yeah, he is.
Wow. Well, please welcome back to the show. You know him from Sweet Chin Musings and thepopbreak.com, the very handsome
Mueller.
Mr. Perfect. That's right, Mueller, Mr. Mike Mueller. What's up, bro?
Not too much, just another perfect day here, Rob. Enjoying my time with you guys. As always, it is an absolute pleasure for you to have me. Kimmy, thank you for that very warm introduction. I'm sure it's going to be nothing but sweet love and roses the whole time through. And I'm just excited to talk about the most fun night of the wrestling year, man. That's Royal Rumble all the way. It's by far my favorite event. I'm so excited for it. And I feel like this year, I'm more excited for it than I've been in a long time. So it's going to be really exciting.
That's amazing. It's so weird, guys. I'm having deja vu right now. And
I know. I feel like we just did this.
So weird. Please welcome to the chat, Mr. Anthony Fazio, who's just a great fan of the BCP and the independents at large. Shout out to Anthony, who says Cody's going to be the men's Rumble winner. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Guys, let us know in the chat who you got and share the stream. But first, we got to welcome back to the show. You know him as the co-host with the best smelling human on the planet. The rebel heart and soul of the BCP. We need a moment of Kriss. We need some charisma on this show. Please welcome back the very handsome Mr. Kriss Nooner. What's up, dude?
5 years to the day. First podcast, coming back where it all began.
That's it. After a perfect performance, I'm still getting deja vu, so weird. After a perfect performance here on the BCP, can he do it again? There's going to be a lot of perfection here. And guys, I started off air saying, I want the tinfoil hat theories. I want the fantasy booking for once. Guys in the chat, I want to know your theories for the Rumbles, particularly. Let's have some fun with this one. We have 5 matches. Kimmy, yell at me if I'm wrong. Thank you.
No, you do. It's all 5. Good job.
As of now, it's 5. We're going to have a lot of fun with this one. I want to hear what you guys have, because WWE is in a, I don't want to say a rare position, but a great position right now where we have so many things and storylines in perfect place. We can go so many directions with this. WrestleMania is 2 nights, not 1. I'm very excited to talk about this and all these theories. Why don't we end with the Rumble matches? So, Kimmy, what match would you like to start with first?
A great positioning is a very interesting way to phrase what WWE is going through right now, but
in terms of storyline.
Oh, okay.
Creative
Yes.
was.
I was going to say, it's anything but that. But I think we have to start with someone's re-TV debut. Somebody who came back at Extreme Rules. Everyone was so excited. They did his first match at a live event, and I still don't know why. He is wrestling in a pitch black match. I don't know what that even means.
No clue.
Versus LA Knight. I think it's cinematic. It has to be, right?
Yeah.
Because, Yeah, because like I understood what you were doing. Because I'm like pitch black, no fans. Like that's in my head, but that's not where we're going with here. So I'm guessing it's cinematic because, like I said, no clue what this even means. But if you're picking anyone, not Bray Wyatt, you are out of your mind. Bray Wyatt will be winning in his brand new pay-per-view debut. But I think the question here is, does Uncle Howdy get involved in one or two matches on this card on Saturday night?
Very well said. Goodest sister, goodest brother. Let's throw it to you, Nunes. What do you think about this one?
To piggyback off of what Kimmy said, as far as a pitch black match, I'm thinking it's going to be kind of like, if you guys remember on NXT a few months ago, it was Tiffany Stratton and Wendy Chu. They kind of dimmed the lights for their kind of street fight. That's what I'm thinking. Like Kimmy said, if you're picking anybody but Bray Wyatt, it's a lock. I mean, it's unfortunate because LA Knight does deserve a win. He's been doing his thing. But yeah, it's Bray Wyatt. Come on.
Yeah, Mike, I'll throw it to you because I know you don't like going last, bro. What do you got?
Actually, I don't want to go last for this one. I'm excited. First of all, it is not a lock. It is very, very likely that LA Knight is going to win this because of Uncle Howdy's involvement. We're not going to get Uncle Howdy dropped him once. He can drop him again. And I'll tell you what the pitch black match is going to be. The lights are going to be fairly dim, and occasionally it's going to go completely black. Think House of Black in AEW. The lights are going to come back on, and then it's going to go from Bray to The Fiend. Then they're going to wrestle a little bit, and it's going to be weird, and it's going to black out again, and then Bray is going to be back to being Bray, and then they're going to wrestle a little bit, and it's going to go pitch black, and they're going to come out again, and then bam, Uncle Howdy's there. And the thing is, there is a very, very good chance that Uncle Howdy can drop Bray the way he did before, and LA Knight gets kind of a sneaky pin, sneaky win. The beautiful thing with Bray Wyatt struggling so much with himself and this internal issue that he's having is he really, unlike The Fiend, which kind of always had to win to protect him, this version of Bray doesn't really need to win to be protected because it's so much about the story and the struggle with his relationship. Is Uncle Howdy controlling him? Is he controlling Uncle Howdy? Is he Uncle Howdy? Doesn't really matter. I don't think we're ever going to get a reveal of Uncle Howdy. I think just like Mercy the Buzzard and everything else, these are just characters that are versions of his personality. So don't expect any big reveal, anything like that. And by the way, the reason why you do your first match in 2 years not on TV is because you probably got a little bit of ring rust that you want to knock off. And you do that in front of a small crowd where there's not 500 cameras to make you look like a fool in case you end up looking like a fool. But yeah, I'd expect someone in the wrestling business to maybe understand that. So that's all right. But
that was so rude.
I didn't interrupt you when you were wrong, so please don't interrupt me. I'm gonna, this is, what are we on earth if we just play it safe all the time and are boring, right? So let's go bold, let's go big. I'm calling it. This is different from the article that I wrote with Kimmy. I'm saying LA Knight wins. Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
Talk to you.
Oh, man, very, very well said, Mike. And I am the master of playing it safe, so I'll tell you my thoughts in a minute real quick.
Fair enough.
Ronnie in the chat. Welcome, Ronnie. Welcome, Bubba John. Guys, let us know your thoughts on this one. I'm seeing a lot of Bo Dallas in the chat. I guess that's in regards to I see Kimmy juking over there in regards to...
No, I was fist pumping because if you've been reading Mike Johnson's reports, he has been saying that. No, I'm not doing this yet, but Bo Dallas is Uncle Howdy. For those who didn't know, Mike Johnson did report Bo Dallas is Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas.
Anthony,
you gotta believe.
Anthony Fazio in the chat saying Undertaker interferes. Yeah, we saw that interaction at Raw. Was it a passing of the torch? Is there more to that? What did he say? Bumblebee tuna. So,
I think Kid Rock interferes too.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about. For this one, the thing with Bray, Mike, you brought up that great point. I was going to say the same thing. Like, you're going to get rid of that ring rust, see how he looks in front of the crowd. So, to the casual wrestling fan, Bray Wyatt has not wrestled since his return, not counting, a live event. So, the whole thing with Bray is he's brilliant, and the barcodes and the rabbit and all that stuff hit it right on the head. It was brilliant. But before he came back, and Kimmy helped me out with this one, Triple H had said in an interview that working with Bray, there's just so much going on. You have to kind of harness that passion, that fire. I'm paraphrasing. And I feel like I'm starting to see that it's almost like there's too many moving pieces. I am not, welcome in, Reese. I am not in love with all of these moving pieces. I'm not really captivated by the Uncle Howdy thing like most people are. Is it him? Is it not him? I don't know how invested I am. I just feel like there is just so much going on with this. It's got to come together. It reminds me of that show Lost. You guys ever watch Lost? Great characters, great story arcs. And it didn't really come, I mean, it had an ending and people kind of assumed things that were right but weren't right, and that's a whole nother story. But it kind of reminds me of Lost. Like, there was just so many questions that were unanswered. I feel like that's what we're going to get here in the long term. But the way they brought him back was really great. And I think it's one of those things where I'm going to be dead wrong. You know, like, it's one of those things where they are going to prove me wrong. But that's how I feel right now. That being said, I'm going to go with the safe pick, like most things in life, and I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt to win this one in a very cinematic match where if they get thirsty, they'll have a couple sips of that Mountain Dew, get that contractor
I'm
know
thirsty.
we will not bow to any sponsors. So it should be.
I'm thirsty just talking about it.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's
Well,
like
Rob.
people
I wish you had
only
a
do
Mountain
things
Dew.
because they get paid, and that's just really sad.
I'm here for Code Red. If you got Code Red, I'm in.
That'll be the
Code
next
Red
one.
match would have been for the Fiend.
That's the-
They missed their chance on that.
And that's a whole nother conversation. Will we see the Fiend in some form or fashion? So,
No, you won't. Also, Rob, you should look at your messages because someone's trying to get into the
I
call.
was going to be slick about it, but yeah, smoke and mirrors, Kimmy. But
No, he told me to tell you.
I
He was getting very mad at you.
Speaking of
okay.
Cody.
But yeah, Nunez, where you want to go? You want to go with Bianca versus Alexa? You want to talk about that one next, or
Yeah, we'll do Bianca versus Alexa.
let's talk about that one now? Speaking of the Fiend and or Bray Wyatt, what's
Howdy.
going on with that? We see kind of hints there. Is Alexa going to go full, Sister Abigail, full kind of supernatural in this one, or is this just mind games, misdirect kind of things? And Nunez, who walks out with the Raw Women's Championship?
Well, I think Bianca walks out with the Raw Women's Championship. I think Bianca, not a Roman type title reign, but I think she will hang on to the title for a while. This is another roadblock in the way. Alexa is I think there's gonna be more progression as far as like Uncle Howdy, see where that goes. But I think Bianca will overcome that and she will retain.
Yeah, a safe pick. I'm just gonna go with Bianca to retain here, 100%. I think this Alexa stuff.
I'm very intrigued by it though.
This could be this could be like almost not a misdirect, but like this is more about Alexa becoming something different. It doesn't necessarily mean she's going to be involved with the Fiend or what was teased.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good story arc for Alexa, but Bianca retains here. Kimmy.
I don't think this is necessarily a lock. Like, obviously, Bianca's going to win if you kick against Bianca on the road to WrestleMania. You're stupid. But I think there's, like, so much more of a story if Alexa wins because Bianca's kind of beat everybody on the Raw roster. And looking at a WrestleMania opponent for her is kind of interesting because obviously I believe my Royal Rumble winner is going to be versing her at WrestleMania. But I just think there's more of a story if Alexa wins. I think Uncle Howdy will be getting involved. I think Alexa, okay, Mike, just shake your head, whatever. I think Uncle Howdy will be getting involved. I think these are kind of mind games, but I think eventually we see the full turn from Alexa. But obviously the EST is winning because she will be involved in a very high-stake match at WrestleMania in LA, and I'll be there.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm jealous that you're going to be there, Kimmy. It's going to be really awesome. Mike, tell us why we're all wrong.
Well, you're not wrong in that Bianca is going to win this, and this is the lock of the night. There's no chance in hell, because if we learned anything from Bray Wyatt's first go-around in the main event, is you don't put the title on this storyline. It has no business being there. This is a story that does not need the title. It's whatever Alexa does is going to be fascinating and interesting, and to have her have to defend a title that is really so inconsequential in the grand scheme of how does all of this come into play. I also don't think Uncle Howdy is going to be directly involved. I think we'll get like the butterfly flashes on the screen, and we're going to have her maybe snap again and have a little thing. But I think you're really only seeing Uncle Howdy in the Bray Wyatt match. I don't think he needs to be involved in this. And what's he going to do? Like come in and drop a Sister Abigail on Bianca? Like, I don't see that happening. This does not need that sort of interference. This is going to be a good match. It's going to be a fun match, but this is my lock of the night. There's a 0% chance Bianca doesn't leave with the title. 0%.
Wow, very well said. And Richie in the chat saying who should face Roman, Cody Rhodes, or Sami Zayn. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Uh-oh, here he is. We got a run in here, guys. Bear with me as I'm adjusting our layout here. Please welcome to the show. You know him as the editor-in-chief of the PopBreak.com, the host of the Socially Distanced Podcast, a BCP OG. Oh, we're juking over here. Please welcome back Mr. Dad Instincts, Bill Bodkin. What's up, man? You're in rare form.
Holy shit, it's Cody Rhodes. Too bad he's going to get them boost just because he's not Sami Zayn.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck, it's Brandy Rhodes. No one told her it's that open mic night. Oh, God, what's happening? What's up, guys? I'm here to talk about my only favorite WWE pay-per-view. I'm sorry, premium live event. I'm sorry, Nick Khan. I didn't mean to offend you and your delicate sensibilities, but I am here to you all just the wonderful prognostications. They won't be perfect, like my other fellow bearded friend. But you know what? They're going to be entertaining. Maybe not as entertaining as my backwards hatted friend, but nonetheless, I'm here for. And I may be old, I may be tired, and I may work with fucking children. But goddamn it, I just ran from another podcast to be here. I'm putting the work in, guys.
That's
I'm here. Let's
Yeah,
do
you
the
are.
BCP original.
Yeah,
Goddamn snatty motherfucker, Bill Bodkin. Here we go. Dropped an F-bomb. Great. Good job, Bill.
Cheers, brother. Cheers.
Oh, there's the best smelling man alive. There he
That's
is.
it. Cheers, guys. Nice little hot chocolate over here. Bill, thank you for coming on, man. We got the song.
Oh, sure.
We're going to get some rants. I'm feeling it. Anthony, welcome in the chat. Guys, let us know who you got. Share the stream. Let's talk about Roman Reigns defending the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Kevin Owens. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a straight up singles match, right? It's we the ones. Man,
Yes. Good job, Rob.
Thank you. Nunes, we were there for Raw. That segment, man, was
fantastic.
where the Emmy at? You know, really, really good.
Yeah. It's way better than had any rights.
The moment where there's just so much potential. This was our storyline of the year for our Bobby Awards. But
Oh, I love it. That's a great award. It's better than some other podcast awards.
That's fair. But the moment when Sikoa went to hit him with the Samoan spike and Jay stops him, and we're all looking at each other like, yes, brilliant, love it. Family is loyal. Here's why. It's just a great interaction all around. Those chess pieces are in place. Just everyone is playing their role. It's probably the most enjoyable thing that we've watched this year on WWE television, and just to be there and experience that. There's so many directions you can go. There's so many misdirects you can take. It's really a lot of fun. In my mind, you drag this out as long as possible. You keep that tension as long as possible. You add the comedic elements. It's so much fun. And Kimmy, with your hand over your head, tell me why I'm wrong about everything I'm saying right now. I didn't even make a pick.
No, Bill needs to go first.
No. I had a question. Are your eyes worse than when I last saw you? Why are you wearing glasses?
First of all, the gimmick, right? But also the LEDs. I'm looking at the LEDs, so these are like the LED or light glasses or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
No, thirst trap Jones.
Yeah, I'm sure.
None of that.
Specs.
Yeah, so WWE is walking a fine line, like a razor's edge with this storyline, and I'll tell you why. Who was the most over person that wasn't a legend at Raw?
Sami Zayn.
I actually watched it. It was Sami Zayn. So Muffin, we're getting ourselves in a bit of a pickle here because this is Kofi Mania. This is the S movement all over again. We think that Cody Rhodes is going to be the guy. And that's why I sang my little song of like, oh, he's going to get booed. Because when he wins, people want to see Sammy against Roman. Now, if you read the tea leaves and the prognostications, it's like, okay, it's going to be KO and Sammy against the Usos. But you're going to have to do a hell of a lot of storytelling to make that matter because the Usos just saved Sammy from getting spiked. Why all of a sudden are we going to buy Sammy turning on the Usos because to me, that makes Sammy a heel. That's not what you want. So what they're going to have to do is, and I have very little faith in the almighty and blessed Papa H and his storytelling, because, you know, let's get a fucking 2-minute cage match that didn't happen. You've only promoted for 3 goddamn weeks. Brilliant. But, you know, let's get DX all their moments for the yucks. You dick. So, I mean, sorry. I mean, it's like, listen, that's why I tuned into Raw to watch that cage match and give us 2 minutes of an angle. That's not good writing. That's shit. But you have to, and this is where I wish blood happened in WWE. You have to have the Usos and Roman like nearly annihilating Kevin Owens for Sammy to try and throw himself on top to Kevin to be like, you have to stop. And then you have the Usos turn on Sammy, because if you don't do that, everyone's going to want Sammy to enter the Rumble to be the one to face Roman and not Cody. And Cody, if you do it, will be booed, much like he was elsewhere. And the Golden Boy doesn't want to be booed. We know that. So that's a problem. And I don't believe WWE Creative has the wherewithal and grace to do that type of storytelling, because we saw what happened to the Yes Movement. Win at WrestleMania, complete fall off. We saw what happened with Kofi Mania. Win at WrestleMania, 5-second loss to Brock Lesnar. It's tough. If they pull it off, it will be awesome. I don't know if they will. Mike Mueller, what do you have, my friend?
Please, I'm sorry. I was going to wait to talk about this during the Rumble. That's when I figured this would come up. But you're hot shotting it. You're Vince Russoing it. Now I'm
Eddie Gilbert. First off,
It's a swerve.
Wasn't he hot stuff? Anyway.
Oh, well, his finisher was the hot shot.
Okay, fair enough. So here's how it's going to play out. This is our tinfoil hat fantasy booking. It's not going to be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos at WrestleMania, so scrap that. It's going to be Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, with Sami Zayn as the babyface and Kevin Owens as the heel. Because Sami Zayn, save the face.
No. I'm thinking.
Here's how I'm booking it, and to me, this is perfect sense. Roman continues to gaslight, manipulate, and control Sammy, and Sammy, in his incredibly desperate attempt for Roman's approval, because he's still on that board, is going to help Roman Reigns once again defeat Kevin Owens clean. There's nothing. They're not going to beat him to the edge of his life, and Sammy's finally going to throw himself on KO. That none of that's happening. He's going to beat him clean. He's going to say, I finally proved myself to Kevin Owens, or to Roman Reigns. And now they finally are going to love and respect me, and I'm going to be there. And then this, by the way, this should be the first match of the night.
Yes.
Absolutely should be the first match of the night. Because then what you're going to see is in the back, Sami Zayn's going to be like, hey, I got a spot. And you know what? I actually got a really great number. It's pretty awesome. I'm going to do really good. And Roman's going to go, why are you going in the Rumble? Why would you go in the Rumble? Why? So you can win and face me? I thought we hashed all this out. I thought you didn't want to beat me. It's all good. And he's going to manipulate Sami Zayn. So the storyline throughout the Premium Live event is Sami Zayn going to give up his spot in the Rumble to another member of the Bloodline? Is he just going to no-show? What's he going to do? Well, Sami Zayn is eventually going to say, you know what? This is my opportunity, and I've done everything. If they can't see that, I mean, I'm clearly for them, and I'm winning to protect Roman. I'm winning so he doesn't have to fight anybody. That's going to be his mindset. He's going to go in the Rumble. He's going to be eliminated, hopefully not by Cody Rhodes, because you will get a sea of boos if that happens. But I'm thinking either by some other member of the Bloodline or something. It doesn't really matter. Maybe KO comes back and fucks him over. I was trying so hard not to do F-bombs. But somehow Sami Zayn gets screwed out of the Rumble. The following night on Raw, you get your actual dissolution where Roman is like, that's enough, you're out. I think it might be the end of the Usos with him too, and it might be Roman and Solo as like the heels, and then like the Usos kind of go back to doing their own thing, and Sammy is left on his own. Flash forward to Sammy getting a match against Roman at Elimination Chamber in Montreal. Pop of the Year comes out for Sami Zayn. For when he comes out, Roman looks like an even bigger jerk when he beats Sammy in Montreal for the title, hopefully with a whole bunch of interference. And then at that point, when that match is over, Roman and Solo are just beating down on Sammy because they're so sick of it, and they're going to put him out of commission forever. Here comes Kevin Owens to save the day. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Roman and Solo leave. KO beats down Sammy, because how many times did I try to tell you? How many times did you not listen to me? And screw you. This gets your Kevin Owens heel turn. This gets Sammy versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, because the other reason is what you said. You had WrestleMania, you had Kofi Mania. I'm sorry, I'll be the one to say it. Those title reigns sucked, and they didn't suck because of booking. They did not suck because of booking. They sucked because those guys were not world champions in a WWE world. They weren't. It was great for the moment. It was great for the moment, but it was not. That was it. It was a moment. It was not a title reign. Cody Rhodes is someone that can run with that title. Sami Zayn is not going to run with the title, because the joy of watching Sami is the chase. That's what's fun with watching Sami. It doesn't matter if Sami gets there or not. The joy is the chase, which is why his big moment is going to be at Elimination Chamber. That's his big pop. That's his time to shine. Cut me off.
You guys bring up some very valid points. Kimmy, you're on deck. Bill brings up a great point, because you could have that problem with Cody and Sammy. That's a great point. We've seen it in the past. I think that's great thinking by Bill. It depends how obviously you book those guys, what Sammy does or doesn't do in the Royal Rumble. Mike saying it's going to be later on. Bill saying it's going to be earlier.
I think I would wish Mike booked Raw. I'd watch it.
Yeah,
so good.
In the chat, Seth in the chat, not Rollins, Kimmy.
I was gonna say.
do you think there's a chance that Roman and the Bloodline tomorrow night on SmackDown, before the actual Rumble match, restrict or forbid Sammy to even participate in the event? We'll talk about that later. Guys, this is the fun of it. Keep the theories coming. This is fun. We're really getting into this.
I don't think they can do it on SmackDown, because they need his help for the match with KO. It has to happen after he helps them beat KO.
Very interesting. Welcome in, Johnny.
What's up, Seth, by the way? Glad you joined.
Seth, welcome in. Johnny Burke. Guys, please share the stream. Let us know all your theories, because we're going off right now. We're having fun with it. This is the fun of it, man. We're enjoying this Sami Zayn ride right now. Kimmy, I've seen you shaking your head this whole time. Bring some sense to this podcast, Kimmy. Help us out, good sister.
My brain hurts. Like, my brain actually hurts, because I'm so confused how we get to all these places. Like, okay,
thinking can be hard.
I know. I'm a college student, in case you didn't know.
I'm like the teacher of one of your classes, so come on.
And I got an
A! Yeah, you did a good job.
Why are we wrong, Kimmy?
Okay, so first of all, you have to remember, we're watching WWE. The expectations have to go.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's like, Mike should book Raw, not Triple H. I mean, because there's logic to his thought process, and my whole thing was, I'm agreeing with you, is that we've seen them take stuff that's cool and run with it too long, or just like drop it, Rusev Day, all sorts of stuff like that. Now, if you, go ahead. Right.
So, Mike, your whole theory, no. Goodbye, no. So here's the thing.
What a shock that is. What a shock.
We've seen Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania again. They're not going to do it, okay? They're not going to do it again.
You want Rollins versus Reigns, so let's put a pause on that.
I mean,
all right,
really
Kimmy has the floor. Kimmy has the floor.
Sorry, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, rude as fuck. So, anyway, back to realistic booking here. So, like I was going to say, I'm going to talk about the match, because we're not talking about the Royal Rumble. We're talking about Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. So, number one, this is the third time that this match is happening at the Royal Rumble. Isn't that so exciting? Yeah, three times.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, so the first time was when the Shark Tank thing was above, and I think someone was in someone was up there.
Shark Cage, not Shark Tank. Not Shark Tank. Because I thought there was like a thing of water above the
Mark
ring.
Cuban?
Mark Cuban's in there.
Kevin O'Leary.
But everyone's swimming around with Mark Cuban. It's like a wild time.
Yes, that was the first one. Then the second one was during the COVID era, when it was the street fight Falls Count Anywhere type thing, and there were golf carts and shit. Yeah. And then there's this one. So no matter what happens, this match is gonna be really good. So let's keep that in mind. Number two, Roman Reigns is winning. Kevin Owens ain't winning the title. If you think that way, you're stupid. Number three, I don't care at this point.
You gotta be nice. Come on.
I am nice to some people, not Mike. So.
One person to be not nice to.
So here's the thing. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to verse the Usos at WrestleMania. Okay, shake your head. But when I'm right, I want full Facebook post that I was right. So here's what's going to happen. Sami Zayn's going to see his old friend, his old best friend, Kevin Steen, El Generico. We go way, way, way back, people. And he's going to be so upset because if you've watched SmackDown, now, I haven't been able to watch SmackDown live because I do film Elite POV on Friday Nights Live, but I've been able to, rewatch it because I'm a knowledgeable wrestling fan, Mike, and a knowledgeable person in the wrestling business, Mike. So he's going to be upset because every time they beam down Owens, you see that look in his eyes. He's like, wow, why? So is he really second guessing himself? I don't know why Mike's on his phone. Is he really why is he doing this to my best friend? So Owens is gonna lose. They're gonna beat him down at the Royal Rumble, and Sami Zayn's gonna be like, you know what? I had enough. That's my friend. Sami Zayn's going to turn the bloodline. We get Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns in Elimination Chamber. Roman Reigns destroys him. Then, we'll do Mike's theory with, Owens coming out to save Zayn to set up the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, because the other piece you're missing here is that Kevin Owens, to be a Grand Slam champion, needs to be a tag team champion. And his best friend will be his tag team champion. Yes, he's held every title but the tag team.
Wow.
So how full circle would that be if his best friend was the key for him to be a Grand Slam champion? And that is why this match will be happening. That is why the Usos will be, turning on Sami Zayn. And that is why Kimmy is always right and Mike Mueller is always wrong. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I hope you had a wonderful time.
Wow. All right, let's take it. And first of all, Kimmy, not the worst booking there at all. Not too shabby. Fazio in the chat saying Rock versus Reigns WrestleMania Philly. I'd be here for that for selfish reasons. That
how many times we're gonna kick that can down the road?
We'll be doing.
Every time we've talked,
sure.
We've talked to Mania, and we're just always like, oh, next year. You know who I want to hear from? I want to hear from the best Melon.
Yeah, let's see. The guy who brings positivity, the guy who's just so patiently sat back and listened to all of us rants.
Handsome son of a bitch.
It's true.
Great guy. Great guy.
Great guy.
Go ahead.
So
anytime I see him, it's
that's it.
We do this. We do the scissor.
Are we doing it now? Are we? No.
All right.
Well, go ahead, Nunes.
Third lock of the night for me. Roman Reigns is definitely winning this match. But you guys bring up a lot of great points. I did have a theory about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn challenging the Usos for the tag titles at WrestleMania. But up to Bill's point, I don't know how they get there as far as with creative, especially after Monday night, with the Usos sticking their neck out to help Sami. So I wonder how they get to that point. Sami is definitely going to help Roman win this to finally have not 100% validation, but to finally be like, yes, I proved, I got the Usos. I helped you win. Do you finally accept me? And then I do agree with Mike that this needs to be the first match of the night because they need to tell this story and to see what Sami does in the Royal Rumble. But yeah, Roman's definitely winning.
Did Roman kick off last year's Rumble with Seth?
Yes.
Wow.
That was a good match.
Piggybacking off what Noon said, yes, I think.
Are you copying and pasting?
No, just piggybacking. So Sami,
right click, highlight everything, and right click,
and change a couple words.
Take a drink. He's copying and pasting. Son of a bitch.
Never. Sami being involved in that match, I don't think he's going to try to help Roman. He's going to overly try to prove himself, and he's almost going to cost Roman. I think it's going to be there, and then we're back because Roman's pretty much like, hey, don't talk to me at SmackDown. I'll see you at the Rumble. Sami's going to do everything he can, and I'm just talking from a character arc from. If I was Sami and I was really in this real life situation, I'm going to do everything I can to prove myself to Roman Reigns. He's going to try too hard, and this is going to be one of the few times where he doesn't come up big, and he's almost going to cost Roman, and that increases the tension, and we don't need a decision here. Things don't need to change here. We are starting the road to WrestleMania, and then we have a lot more of these fun segments where there's that tension. We have a lot more of those fun segments where there's that humor. We have a lot more fun segments where the Usos can emote, Sami can emote, Roman can emote. We could have even a twist where Paul Heyman's the odd man out and he's playing everybody. I really see it going that way as well. That's the fun of it. There's so many ways we can go. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Sami's going to try to redeem himself, but he's going to try too hard. He's almost going to cost Roman. Roman will still retain no matter what, despite the fact, and maybe we'll see Sami and the Usos maybe involved in the Rumble later in the match. I'm getting a little cute with it. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Guys, let us know in the chat what you think. And is it time, Kimmy, for the Women's Rumble? What do you think?
Damn right it is. We need to talk about my bestest friend making her debut in the Royal Rumble. Because the Royal Rumble is going to be hot messed.
Oh, I'm excited for that. So here's the deal, guys, so we don't have to go round and round about. I want to know your Rumble surprises. If you want to throw in a dark horse, you certainly don't have to. Any fun theories or storytelling. I want to talk about booking a little bit for this Rumble because that's the fun of it. And then give me your winner as well. So just do it all in one shot. Kimmy, would you like to start for the Women's Rumble?
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
So here's the problem. Why are we only announcing 7 women? Why? What is happening here? Like, you have a whole roster of people not being used. You're causing my brain to corrupt WWE. So the 7 women who are announced, for those who don't know on the panel, are Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Shayna Baszler, Zelina Vega, and Emma. Who, only one of those, or 2 of those people are actually people that could actually win. For surprises, I do see us getting involved with NXT a little bit. I see Cora and Roxanne getting involved. I see Zoe Starks getting involved. I think Carmella's going to make her return. I think, who else? I think Natalia's going to make her return, obviously, because she was out with, mental stuff and an injury. They have yet to announce Becky Lynch, Mia Yim, and a bunch of other people. But I don't like that this person is going to win. I don't want to pick this person because I don't think... To me, it's just no. I would have went a different way. But it's the only thing that makes sense because WWE's pissing me off. But I have to go with the person in the Judgment Day. I have to go with Rhea Ripley. Like I said, I don't want her to win because I feel like there's so many other things that we could do. But Rhea Ripley is going to get her shine. She has really stood out in 2022 with the Judgment Day. I think her turning heel and her with the black hair, it's really good. But like I said, still don't want her to win. But I think, she's really going to show out. I think she comes in towards the middle, like 15 around there, and she takes it and she wins. But the most important thing that we should be talking about is that Chelsea Green will be making her long-awaited debut in the Royal Rumble.
Great stuff, Kimmy. I like it. Boom, boom, down the checklist. Very well said. Nooner, you're on deck. Real quick in the chat, the anti-smart weighing in, the big cat saying Naomi ? We'll see what happens with that.
That was going to be one of my surprises.
Richie in the chat saying Shayna Baszler got her 3rd-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I believe, last night. Congrats to her. Very, very cool. Yeah,
yes.
We'll see Shayna, hopefully. Nunes, what do you got? Surprises, angles, returns, winner?
Yeah, I think like Kimmy said, Chelsea Green going to be in the Rumble. I think Naomi's gonna make her return at the Rumble. My 2 dark horses are Liv Morgan and Bayley. I think they're going to be part of the Final 4. And like Kimmy said, I think Rhea's going to win it. The Final 2 in 2 years ago with her and Bianca was really cool during the Thunderdome with the face-off, and they ended up both winning their respective world titles at WrestleMania. I think it's Rhea's time. Yeah, she's going to win.
Great stuff, Nunes. Mueller.
I also have Rhea Ripley winning this, but I think it's great. I think the last time that I was on this podcast, I said by WrestleMania, someone in the Judgment Day would hold gold, and we're lining up perfectly for that to happen with Rhea Ripley. I'm with Nunes where I would really like to see Naomi. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but that's the surprise I would like to see, and that's what we're asking. So that's what I'm saying. I think Raquel Rodriguez is going to have a hell of a showing. I think she's going to have the most eliminations. I think she's going to have the diesel spot, as it's called. I think the person that really, though, is going to shine and get the biggest rub through all of this is Candice LeRae. I see her being a very early entrant, like top one of the first 5 entrants, probably even one of the first 2, and making it very, very far, possibly final 6, final 4, something like that. And I think it's going to be a good push and elevation for her. I think you're going to get Raquel Rodriguez elevated throughout this. But ultimately, this to me just has to be a Rhea Ripley, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's definitely her time, and this is the exact type of thing that she should win. So it makes too much sense.
Great stuff. Dominic in the chat saying Rhea Ripley as well. A lot of Rhea Ripleys in the chat. Bill, are you going?
If someone named Dominic doesn't pick Rhea Ripley, that's a problem.
Touche. Bill, what do you got on this one? Are you going Rhea Ripley as well?
I was, but now I'm concerned because the way the WWE brain has worked is like, who's the obvious pick? that ain't the person we're going to pick. That's usually how it goes. So that's why kind of was thinking if it's not Rhea Ripley, I think it might be Becky Lynch. Because and it's not a pick I love. It's not a pick I love.
I mean, either.
No. Michael.
No, I'm not a horrible pick.
Michael.
It would be horrible if it happened.
I just think that it's like Rhea, it's time for her. Like she owes Charlotte. If she went with, she has a good angle for both people. If she goes, Charlotte, remember there was that WrestleMania, the empty arena WrestleMania. She's going to get her win back against Charlotte. She has the long history with Bianca. So both of them make perfect sense. Or you know what? She's hardcore. She'll take them both. Well, Tommy Dreamer reference for all those who are paying attention. And then, I mean, I actually would love that if she that would be a great match. The three of them.
Winner take all, part 2.
Winner take all.
Yeah, I would love it. But I could see them going with just like, okay, we're going to position Becky because what's Becky going to do? And because I don't think we're going to get Becky and Ronda. So, and if we're going to do Becky and Ronda, just make it a street fight at that point. That would be great.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
But I could see, I just feel like I got this nagging feel that everyone's picking Rhea that I'm like, oh, they're probably going to go the opposite way.
That's fair.
But I ultimately, my heart of hearts, I want it to be Rhea Ripley, but I think the smart money could be someone mainstream like Becky Lynch. As in regards to cameos and surprises, I'm going to go with Toxic Attraction. I think they're ready-made main roster people
for sure.
A dark horse to show up, but someone who I think has massive upside in WWE is going to be Tiffany Stratton. I don't think she's as just there yet, but next year she'll be there. She's going to be the goods for them. You're going to get the requisite Kelly, cameo. You have to have her and old Lita. I don't know about Lita, but definitely Michelle McCool. Because, Big Mark was just
version of Molly Holly are we getting?
Oh, yeah. Molly will be out there for sure,
I hope Ivory comes back. That was a lot of fun.
She was great. But I think in regards to people we haven't seen on the roster, haven't been announced yet, I think Doudrop comes back. Yes. She was just at a charity event for them. I think Tegan Nox, Shotzi, Natalya, Tamina, they'll all be back. I think Naomi does come back, but my big question is, I know everyone's going to get really excited for that, but I don't get excited for Naomi at the Rumble because every year it's the same thing. It's Naomi. Here's the spot. This is the time we're going to push her. And guess what? They never do.
Mine, yeah.
That's what I'm going with. I think Braun Breaker is prime for a spot in this Rumble because he's got to be coming up pretty quickly. Specifically, though, the most exciting thing I'm excited about is I think we're definitely getting Karrion Kross, Rey Mysterio. That whole thing's still playing out, but ultimately, I think you're going to have Dom eliminate Rey Mysterio, and that's going to start setting up their WrestleMania retirement match. But once Dom eliminates Rey, probably with Damian and or Finn all together, and they all get him out. You think you know me. Edge is coming back. Edge is coming back because he's got unfinished business with Judgment Day. So that kind of gets them out. He clears house. He does his whole thing. Eventually he gets tossed by Gunther too, because everyone's getting tossed by Gunther. But so that's who I have as like sort of the big surprises, surprise returns. I got Big E and Edge. Could see Orton, could see Riddle. I don't really care about either though. And I think you're going to get that reignition of Rey and Dom. But ultimately, I think it's Cody going wire to wire to the end and winning. And then Sammy, I do think is going to be in. I think he's going to get screwed out, hopefully early enough to then where we still care about Cody winning at the end. We'll see if it happens or not. But I mean, I stand hard for Cody. And I said, as soon as they said he was out, I go, it's coming back at the Rumble and winning. I'm not going to change my pick 3 days before when I've been saying it for 7 months. So I'm locked in on Cody.
Nooner, what do you got for us, man?
I'm with Mike on that. The promo the day after WrestleMania last year with Cody, I was like, he's got to win the Rumble. It had me when he's talking about his dad and saying that he wanted to do it because his dad's never done it. His brother Dustin's never done it. He wanted to do it for the Rhodes name. It even says it in his theme song. There's more than one Royal Wrestling family. And him winning the WWE title will solidify that. Yeah, and like Mike said, I've been saying that. I've been thinking Cody's going to win ever since that promo last year. Ever since he returned, I was like, it makes sense for him to be the one. As far as surprises, I want Big E to be in there. Don't doubt Jay White. I heard a lot about Jay White. As far as returns, I don't know how far along they are with their injury progress, but I would love Ciampa to come back. Obviously, I would love Johnny to come back. He has a shoulder injury, so I'd love for him to come back.
Are you a Johnny fan?
I don't know.
He's a Brett guy. Look at his shirt.
I could move it around there. Yeah, I'm a Brett guy tonight. But yeah, Cody's winning.
Very interesting. Kimmy, do you want to end this one? You want to take this one home, or you want to go now?
No, Bill has to go last.
So you want Bill to go last? Okay. Kimmy, would you like to go now, or would you like me to go?
No, I'll go. Because there's a free agent out there that no one's really talking about. I know Bill's going to very much appreciate this one. He doesn't want it to happen. But there's a former NWA champion.
Nick Aldis?
Yeah!
Definition of don't debut him at the Rumble.
Listen, I have to throw it out there, okay?
I know you do, but they shouldn't do it.
But there's another former NWA champion that we should also be talking about.
Trevor Murdoch?
Tyrus?
Ric Flair. It's Ric Flair. It's Ric Flair.
He has to come in at number 30 because it's going to take him an hour to get to the ring.
Woo!
No, it's Ric Flair.
These are getting worse. He's also the husband of someone who we all predicted was coming in the Women's Royal Rumble.
Not all of us.
Matt Cardona. It's Matt Cardona.
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder. He trademarked his name. My God.
Long Island.
There's.
I think.
Well, he's not a free. Yes, Bill. Yes.
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
Okay. So there's also someone from NXT that we haven't seen in a really, really, really long time. Zach always used to do his impersonation oh so well. To the moon, because I think Cameron Grimes is making his Royal Rumble debut and getting the call up to the main roster.
I like that.
And then there's another person, I don't really like him, but he's been on College Football Game Day.
Yeah,
for
McAfee. Yeah, I can see that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'd love for Pat McAfee to come back. Yes.
I don't think he should, but you know what? He has to at this
he's
point.
Won me over.
Wild card return, Roderick Strong.
What is he doing?
Nothing. He's doing nothing.
I know, but I didn't know if he was hurt.
No. And then there's another person who came out on Monday Night Raw at the end in the main event to cost Bobby Lashley because it's WrestleMania season. And you also know that on the road to WrestleMania season, you have a pit stop in Suplex City because Brock Lesnar will be in the Royal Rumble because it coincides with each other. But obviously,
that's
Cody
a good
Rhodes is winning.
Festus impersonation, Mike.
Just the mere mention of Brock Lesnar apparently turns me into Festus. So there you go.
Can you do it for Kimmy? I don't think
really
Kimmy saw it.
right
Kimmy, you have to see the face. It is Festus. Just do it.
Oh my
Biscuits and Gravy does sound really good right now, though.
Song, yeah.
Oh God, an all-time snack, an all-time song.
You're an all-time snack.
I know.
Yeah, he
Thank
is.
You. Thank you.
Cody's winning. In case anyone forgot that I'm still predicting, Cody's winning.
You can't talk about food with me and keep me on track.
Well, you know, I get interrupted on other podcasts I'm on, so I had to make sure to speak my mind and make my voice. Oh, that is a shoot. Bill knows. I had to make sure my voice was heard. But yes, Cody Rhodes will be winning. Seth and Cody will be 1 and 2, and then they will also be the final 2. They will be going all of the way. And I'm not just saying that because I am a Seth Rollins fan. I'm saying it because if you remember how they wrote Cody Rhodes off of TV, Seth attacked him, so they had to finish that storyline out. So that's why they won't also be the first 2. They'll also be the last 2. And let's go, Seth Rollins.
I think they're a solid 1 and 2 entrant. I always think like for the number 1, like who has like those long entrances. You know, number 1's always a good place for like an Undertaker, like an Eddie Guerrero or a JBL who came
Shawn
out
Michaels.
Elias, you know, with a musical performance, you could just start right in the ring. So I just try to take that into account when I'm thinking who's going to be number 1. But I think Cody.
Is it Elias and Ezekiel?
Yes. Yes.
I think
Elias.
If they work together, they could have
be
a shot.
unstoppable.
They could have a
They'd be
shot.
unstoppable. the brother connection, but I would love for Elias to come in at 3, be out by 5.
You can't do split screen in real life.
I would hate it.
Did you hate the 3 faces of Foley?
Mick Foley is an absolute god. It's like Elias. I don't know. There's something about it. I just see it and I'm just like, it just makes me want to hurt things.
You know what?
It's an inexplicable thing. I'm just like, argh!
I think it would get all joking aside, I think it would get a pop. Elias comes and gets eliminated. Blah, blah. Shave real quick.
Cut the hair.
Huge pop. Huge pop.
Huge.
I would pop for it.
Huge.
Nunez, not so much. I would pop for it.
I'm with Nunez. I was like,
just wait till he
good
wins.
stuff, guys. We're having a lot of fun, guys. Let us know in the chat. Reese in the chat saying number 1 through 5 usually has the Iron Man performance. Yeah, for sure. I'm hoping that's Johnny. I hope Johnny gets a lot of shine if he's in this, if he's ready to go. Yeah. He threw up a fingers crossed yesterday, so we'll see what happens. I know it would mean a lot to him. Check out our interview with Johnny Gargano if you haven't yet on YouTube. I think you're right about Nick Aldis. He seems to me to fit that WWE mold in a lot of ways. I think Cardona, I think it's a done deal. I think it's a lock.
Yeah, that's a lock.
He's going to be here somewhere early 10s, maybe around there. He's going to come in. Is he going to come in as Matt Cardona or Zack Ryder? We've all seen news about trademarks and such. He stunned Vicious Vicky. Not happy about that. I was going to run in and stop him, but I was just too far away.
You often don't run in to help your girlfriend when dudes drop.
I was too far.
This has been proven.
I was too far. I wrote a strongly worded letter.
Did you though?
That being said,
he did.
I think
I didn't edit it.
He used Comic Sans.
I think Cardona is definitely a lock to appear in this Rumble.
Yeah.
I think some of the good storytelling here. I think Mike, you said it, is going to be between Ray and Dominic. You're going to have that awkward interaction.
Nothing ever is going to be the word strong and Dominic should ever be
Rhea.
sense.
Prison Dom has completely won me over.
His
purple
Conan
bandana,
cosplay,
by the way.
His Conan cosplay is mid at best. Like, okay, it was fun when he had the little tear here. Now it's just like I watched the Raw. I have been in Philadelphia crowds before. That is the quietest a Philadelphia crowd has ever been. You could hear a cheesesteak drop on the floor anytime he was in the ring.
Was me.
Yeah, I know. Listen. It was a lot of ketchup. I get it, but I mean, it's just like he is just nothing is strong with Dom. Not even his mullet.
That bandana game's strong though.
His uncle Conan said he's like, you got to get Bowdy and Rowdy, and he didn't even do that. You have it right there, Dom.
Yeah, he didn't get
right
a little
fucking there, and you don't do it.
He's one bout it. He's not bout it, but I'd say
Prison
Dom's bout it.
Wow.
Come on.
He's a little bout.
Interesting comments in the chat and on the pod right now.
A little bout.
I think this is going to be a really fun Rumble. The booking of it seems a lot of fun. It doesn't need a lot of surprises, and I think we'll get some Kimmy. I think you're right about Brock coming in, and essentially they've done it before. I think with Goldberg or whatever, and Brock, like they just come in, eliminate each other. It'll be him and Lashley, whatever it turns out to be. This will be a lot of fun. I'm hoping to see Johnny return, like I said earlier. But I think the clear cut winners and favorites are either Cody Rhodes, the clear cut favorite, if The Rock returns, The Rock, or Sami Zayn if something crazy happens, because those are all your marquee matches for WrestleMania. I think the pop that Sami would get if he won, I don't think anyone would be disappointed in that. So I'm going to get cute with this.
Except for Cody Rhodes.
I'm going to get cute with this, and I'm going to say they're going to do something. If you remember, and I know I said let's have fun, tinfoil hat theories. Remember the whole thing with Sami kind of started where he was like, I'm going to win the Money in the Bank, so you're protected, Roman. Like, that's kind of how it started. I say Sami, who, in my theory, screws up his match, trying to save Roman from losing the title. Roman retains, but Sami's trying so hard to redeem himself. He screws up, almost costs Roman the title. Now, hey, you know what? We're going to go in. We the ones. We're going to go in the Rumble. We're going to do everything we can to protect, our family, the bloodline. I'm going to make this up to you, dog. He's going to go in there. And same thing with the Money in the Bank, and he's going to play into that. I think that could be a fun story throughout the Rumble of we get more bloodline. They're popular. And I'm not a fan of the tag teams being in the Rumble typically. but we could kind of get cute with that. Maybe it's him and the Usos and Sikoa. Maybe it's all of them. Maybe it's just Sammy. But I see Sammy in the Final Four. I see some not necessarily funny moments, but just like that reaction from the crowd. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't think Sammy is going to win the Rumble, but he's going to try to just redeem himself yet again. So I see him having just, again, he's going to end up stealing the show. He's in some form or fashion. Sami Zayn is going to steal this show, as he should. Let's ride this wave as long as we can. Cody Rhodes is the obvious pick. A lot of you are picking Cody. I'm going to go with what Vac said when Cody came back to WWE. We need to see Cody almost win the Rumble. We need to see Cody almost win the Money in the Bank. We need to see him struggle. I know it's like shoot him at the top. He's been there before. Kimmy is completely disagreeing. I want to see that journey because in my mind, he's had a trifecta of matches with Seth Rollins. Great matches, and he's been on the shelf. Him fighting Roman is money. I love the promo. I love everything about Cody coming back. It's a great story. It sells tickets. To me, I need to see not more from him as a wrestler, but more from him after his return. I think it makes sense for him to win. It's probably the smart money, the smart bet. But for me personally, fantasy booking, I want to see him get so close or get screwed over or whatever it is and really make it a little bit more personal before he's shot right to the top when he comes back from injury. And as I'm saying that, 3 Cody wins in the chat, and I think that's a safe pick.
So, no, and go ahead. I was saying,
who do you have winning if you're fantasy booking?
I smell something.
Ooh.
He's not coming. My God. He's not coming. He's not coming to Philly. He's not coming to California.
He's not coming to Philly.
No, he's not coming to Philly.
Didn't you
California,
see there was a tweet? There was a tweet that said he wasn't coming, so he definitely can't come. There's no way a tweet would be wrong.
He's not coming. He's not coming. And when I'm right and you're all wrong, remember this podcast. Remember 11:20 on January 26th that Kimmy was right and Mike was wrong again.
I'm usually wrong. And I preface this by saying I'm getting very cute with this, with the whole bloodline thing. I think it'd be really fun.
I bet you there's someone who thinks you're very cute right now.
In terms of if we...
Oh, you meant Vicky.
No, I meant Kriss.
If we were gonna have The Rock in some form or fashion, this is if, Kimmy, right? If we were going to... That's fair. If
it's gonna be when I pop in my Walking Tall DVD, I don't need
it. If we had The Rock, it's
I don't need him there, bro.
The story writes itself. I mean, we don't need to say this. This goes without saying, but
I get what you're
it's
saying,
the story of the bloodline, the head of the table. It goes without saying that The Rock, in some form or fashion, needs to be a part of that story. Will he be? That's a completely different question. But if you are going to book him for this Mania, big if. I've seen a lot of reports. I'm skeptical at all reports at this point, but I've seen
even
a lot
from
of
the most trusted sources. But yet, someone's Facebook page you will definitely send to me. Anyway,
shots fired.
What?
Totally lost my train of thought. So I think
Mania.
Thank you. I think if you need to book The Rock in a short amount of time with the schedule that he has. If you shoot him right at the top, he needs to win this Rumble. It's less dates, it's less appearances, and then he's there at Mania with spots in between. So I'll get a little crazy with this one. I'm going to go with The Rock to come back and win this thing.
Good on you. But the thing is, like, first of all, I still believe firmly that Roman is going to be defending the titles twice.
Seems that way. And there's 2
once
titles.
on night one, 2 titles, once on night 1, once on night 2. The Rock does not need to win the Rumble to get a title match at WrestleMania. He can show up the Monday before. They've already sold all the tickets, so you don't need him to sell tickets.
Yeah.
He can show up whenever and say, I'm taking one of the titles. And who's going to tell him no? There's your match. So I don't think he needs to win it. And I'm with you, Rob, in which I would love to see Cody go on that journey. I told you, I've said a million times on this. That's why I don't care about Bianca Belair. I've not seen her overcome anything. She just dominates everybody all the time.
Fair.
And so, like, I don't have a reason to, like, she doesn't tug at my heartstrings, and Cody does tug at my heartstrings, but that's neither here nor there. I would love to see him go on that journey. My problem is he ain't getting any younger, and he just came off of a really bad injury. If you have him go on this journey and he gets hurt again, I think you've really wasted a golden opportunity. And I can even see him winning the title at WrestleMania and dropping it very quickly. And then he goes on that journey, because that way, if you get the full story out of it, awesome. And it'll still play out great. But if you don't, at least he got that moment. At least we got the moment while we could get it. It's the other reason why I didn't want him going 1 through 30. That's an hour to get hurt. And I didn't want him to run that risk, but now I felt like we painted ourselves into a corner. But that's because I agree with you in theory. I would love to see Cody go on that journey, but selfishly, I just really think we need to lock that moment in while we can, and then we can do whatever we want after the moment. Again, just like WrestleMania or anything, that it's about the moment more so than the big title run.
There are.
I kind of think.
Yeah, please, Nunez.
I kind of think his injury, like it even though it was like a kind of like a split second, it just happened. Just seeing the visual of his shoulder and like him gutting through that match with it completely torn off of the bone. I feel like even though kind of like jetpacked his like that angle, I feel like that would like just seeing that kind of makes up for all that. I get what you guys are saying though, as far as like almost getting there, like overcoming things.
Yeah. He did have to
Mike,
overcome.
you are right. Like they got to capitalize on it now.
Yeah.
I hate that storyline so much where it's like, oh, he didn't win the Rumble. He's got to fight his way to get that title shot. Tough shit. You lost the Rumble. You ain't getting the match. That's me. Because they've also done that storyline to death.
Sure.
Fair.
But Cody Rhodes has the advantage a lot of people don't have. He was there.
Yeah.
He was an original guy. He trained. He paid his dues. He had a mustache.
It was a great mustache.
And he was dashing.
Yeah, he was. He had a shitty mask he had to wear. It was not a great mask.
Everything he does is great.
He did
His face was broken. And
he did Stardust. Like you could go back to all those things and say that was his journey to get to the moment. You don't need him to have to go through a gauntlet or go through the 7 trials of Jericho or whatever that stuff. You don't need. No, some of those were good.
Which time?
Well, no, the MJF one where him and Nick Gage had a death match. That was great for me and only me. But here's the thing. So we don't need to see Cody Rhodes go through all that. He's already been there. He's got the history. He's got the gravitas. He's got AEW. He's got New Japan. He's got Ring of Honor. He left and made himself. Now he's here because he needed to prove Daddy Vince wrong. So this is what he's going to do. And I don't think we need to see the journey for that. And also Mike's right. Like, Cody is, not far from my age, and he had a bad. Kimmy will correct me if I'm wrong. He had the bad knee, and he's got a brace on that, right?
Yeah.
Because he had it injured right before AEW. So I think Cody, or swallowed a hair. I think
lost his beard, brother.
Yeah, it is. I think Cody will. I think Cody should win the Rumble, but my fear is we all think Cody's going to win the Rumble. So be like, we'll do something else to do exactly what Mike said. Like, Cody's got to earn it, pal.
Yeah, I don't want that.
I don't want it either, but I can't rule it out. So I'll just segue into my stuff. Ultimate weirdo surprise that's not going to happen. John Cena. That would be a hell of a reaction.
Could.
He doesn't have to win.
No.
He could get eliminated by, if you want, and that's a storyline right there. Whoever eliminates him could be the person that he feuds with at WrestleMania. And
Could be Theory.
And fuck that. Because
Could be
I
Gunther.
hate Austin Theory for so many reasons.
Paul.
That is your United States
Paul.
champion.
That is, he is
That
not
is
my
your-
United. Lex Luger was my United States champion, not this dumbass who, for many reasons, Randy Orton Jr. Boring as paste and so problematic. I feel debuting Nick Aldis is, again, the same thing as Chelsea Green. No one's going to care.
Yeah.
I don't care how long he held the NWA title for. It was on YouTube, and it was fought in not televised events outside of All In. So I don't think that.
Bill, he was also Magnus in TNA.
Who could
Part of
forget?
Main Event Mafia.
Yeah, trust me, I watched it and I heard the reactions. Not the best.
All 1,500 of them.
Yeah, and
In the Impact Zone.
I definitely could, like I said, John Cena. You're going to get like the boring picks, like Dolph Ziggler's going to show up, Shinsuke Nakamura's going to show up, Otis, Chad Gable, like they'll be in there. I'm really hoping Omos doesn't have the Diesel moment because he doesn't deserve it.
And I think he already did, didn't he? A couple
Yeah,
years
he kind
ago.
of did. That's why I said Gunther,
So I think a legit surprise that could happen is going to be the Great Muta.
That'd be fun.
Would be great.
They sent Nakamura over to Noah to wrestle him on New Year's for one of his final series of matches. I think it would be a great wrestling moment for him, a person who's never ever wrestled in WWE, to get a WWE moment. I saw him appear and Kimmy did too, at MSG. When Ring of Honor had a Rumble, he was one of the final guys. The entire MSG exploded because people forgot he was in for an indie date in Brooklyn because it was Mania weekend. He showed up. Everyone went absolutely ballistic. It would be a great thing. I could see him being number 30. He's slower. He's got a big entrance. And then he comes in. He missed somebody. He gets thrown over the top.
Going to be my question. Who does he miss? Or does Shinsuke Nakamura make out with him again and suck it out of his mouth?
Hopefully he doesn't make those comments afterwards like he did in Japan. So it wasn't nice. Okay. So I could see him misting Austin Theory, or he can good, because Austin Theory is banana peel guy. He can he could slip on the banana peel and fall on his face, and that's fine. And I wish he would. And then but there are people, you could see someone silly like the Boogeyman. He's always a guy.
Yeah, they've done
Booker
that.
T. Speaking of Mist, I would love a Tajiri appearance.
Oh, I'm here for it.
Well, not if William Regal's still around. So they don't get along.
They're not friends.
I could also see there's a lot of stuff that could happen in terms of things, and I don't think we're going to see any men from NXT, and if we did, I think it's Grayson Waller. I think he's the most.
You don't think Braun Breaker?
No, I don't.
I like the Cameron Grimes one. I feel like Cameron Grimes
is a good pick.
You could see Uncle Howdy.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I don't want to be. I don't want to be that guy starting who could. Did we say anything about Andrade? I don't want to start speculating.
He's under contract.
No, he's under contract with AEW.
Oh, he's still in.
He's not fired yet. Jay White is an outside chance of him showing up. Otherwise, there's no one else big who's a free agent to show up that's really going to shock the crowd. There really isn't. So
Curtis Axel's still in it from 2015. So I mean, that could.
Yeah. So is Hornswoggle from 2008. Just saying.
I fucking would love it if Hornswoggle came back. But yeah, I think Muda is the most guaranteed lock to be a surprise.
I like that.
Really cool.
And I do think you either get a Pat McAfee or Bad Bunny return. And you can't rule out. I can't believe I'm fucking saying it.
If you say Shane McMahon, I'm going to shoot you.
Shane McMahon.
Oh, no, God, no.
I don't like it.
You don't forget the Alamo. You never forget the money.
And you know what? I don't like it. And mostly because I don't like WWE booking anyway. They could do it. They definitely could. But my hopeful one that I would love to see, X-Pac. I would love to see X-Pac. Even though he said, I'm not going to do it, I would love to see him. He's a guy who got himself into shape, cleaned himself up. Personally, we have more of a respect for his legacy now than we did when he was in WWE. So I think for him to come out, have a spot to do a Bronco Buster, do a kick, do one or two moves, get in there with someone who's a good in-ring tactician, and show off a little bit, and then get thrown out. And of course, you'll probably get fucking Logan.
He's got to come out to the Uncle Cracker theme. I'm just saying.
That's not going to happen.
No, it'll be DX.
They're not going to pay Uncle Cracker royalties for that. They're not going to do it. But yeah, Cody Rhodes will likely win the whole shebang. Here's what I want. Everyone's like, oh, Bill hates WWE. I love the Royal Rumble. Last year's Royal Rumble was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Awful.
I just want it to be fun. Yeah. And I hope everyone has a wonderful time watching it.
And 2020 was wonderful despite all of our worst fears. Yeah, 2021 was so great, even though it was in the Thunderdome.
It was I can't remember it because of rough time in life.
Fair. No, it was Thunderdome. That whole thing kind of exists in a
it's when Christian came back.
But the last two of the last three were great, but last year's one, I watch every Rumble every year because I'm that big of a dork. I refuse to watch last year's Royal Rumble. I will never watch it ever. It was so painful and so awful. Oh, I'm getting PTSD just thinking about it.
I hope Top Dollar's not in it.
Oh boy.
Only if he goes over the top in that wonderful swan.
Oh gosh.
Massey and T-Bar.
Well, now he's Dijak.
He's T-Bar for life.
He's doing like
fair
a
enough.
weird, like
He's
post-apocalyptic thing now, isn't
No,
he?
he's Cobra. He's Stallone from the movie Cobra, essentially.
Couple in the chat.
You're the disease and I'm the cure.
Seth in the chat saying Corey Graves has been itching for one more match.
No.
I'm just reading the comments.
I could see a
just the
mixed
messenger.
tag.
Just the messenger.
You know what?
Yeah,
He's
a mixed
buddy-
tag or something.
You know what? He's buddies with the Miz, so I can see like a Carmella, Corey, Miz, Maurice match. That would work pretty well.
That'd be a good WrestleMania Day 1 match.
Yeah, I think so. I think Beth Phoenix could show up too, by the way.
Yeah,
she could
there
show
were
up in the
a couple
men's
Beths
Rumble.
in the
She's done it
chat.
before.
She could show up in the men's Rumble and kick some ass.
I hope she does.
Yeah.
Kimmy, I think someone in the chat, you have to go back, said Seth Rollins is going to win, so check that out.
Damn
Kimmy,
right.
I told you to stop.
I'm sorry.
Typing in
It
the
wasn't
chat.
me. It literally was not me.
Wow. All right.
It's not my
All
fault. It's other people.
It was someone named.
It was Simi Kool.
I was going to say.
Timmy Kool.
I said it was going to be Timmy Bokel.
Oh, gosh. Well, we're off
Sorry,
the rails
Mike.
at this
There's
point.
other Seth Rollins fans here. Sorry.
Well,
Sorry, Mike. Go cry about it.
Oh, here we go. You guys know what time it is. Let's get out of here. Everybody be friends. Kimmy, we got shameless promo time. I know you got a lot. What do you got going on?
No, I was just going to say, please just follow my Twitter. I post everything there. I'm not going through 10 million things. I'm not. It's a waste of time. Just follow my
Well,
Twitter.
what's your Twitter?
I was going to get there. It's Kimmy_Sokol. SOKOL. There you go. Just do
Kimmy
that.
said, Google me. Mike, what do you got going on?
Oh, fuck.
That's pretty great, actually. Doing Sweet Chin Musings with my boy Luke. We actually just put out a episode that has gotten a lot of attention, talking about Royal Rumble predictions, but then also about Jay Briscoe. So that was an interesting one. If you want some less popular thoughts, check that out, I guess I'd say. But it was, I'm really proud of it. We put a lot of our heart and soul into it. So that was really cool. And just continuing to do that, writing for the Pop Break. Kimmy and I had our predictions, our prediction article that should be coming out pretty quick. And that, there you go. And that's always a lot of fun to do. Don't think they're doing Celebrity Big Brother this year, so I don't know if I'll be writing that or if I have to wait till next Survivor season. But either way, I'll be writing recaps for that for the Pop Break, making my long-awaited return. And other than that, you can just find me on Facebook at Sweet Chin Musings. I do have a Twitter. I don't use it, so don't bother.
That's it. Bill, what do you got going on, man?
Oh, Jesus Christ. If you must follow me on Twitter, I'm at Bodkin Writes, WRITES. I'm the editor-in-chief of thepopbreak.com, entering year 14. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram at The Pop Break. I am the co-host of the Socially Distanced podcast, which drops every single Friday. We just completed our Cornetto trilogy rewatch, and if you're wondering what those are, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. And I just got off recording an episode about the first two episodes of HBO's brand new hit series, The Last of Us. I am also the Bill in the Bill versus the MCU over on the Pop Break Today feed. We just kicked off season 2. We are going to the Defenders verse, and I just watched, and we are reviewing Daredevil season 1. Next month will be Jessica Jones. I am also on the same feed. I do a series called Anchored in Asbury, which is a music interview series. Just interviewed Ed Mayer of Nectar's Presents, a great jam band, promotional company and booking agency that does a lot of stuff in Asbury Park. Also the co-host of the TV Break podcast, which drops every month on the Pop Break TV feed. And I have a ton of stuff I wrote on the popbreak.com. I keep writing that site, and hopefully I'll have more stuff up and around. And maybe Rob will have me back on for an AEW thing where I'll be way more ebullient and positive. And I'll talk about WrestleMania, where I'm just going to throw things because of all the celebrities that are going to be on there. Maybe Steve Austin will come out and have a good match again, and I'll love every fucking second of it.
There you go. Beautifully said.
Bill, you need a hobby or something. I feel like there's just too much empty space in your life where there's nothing.
I'm also a dad. I have a full-time job. And, I got stuff.
Hey, man, living the dream, Bill.
I am living the dream.
That's it, man. I love to see it. Real quick, just shameless promo, guys. Subscribe over to the Bob Culture Podcast YouTube channel. We're cranking out content every day now. We got matches from ISPW. We got some fun clips. We got interviews with the likes of, your favorite Nunez, Johnny Gargano, the Boogeyman who we talked about, Kurt Angle, Road Warrior Animal. Lots of good stuff, guys. Check it out. And special shout out. I want to shout out Mama Kim Falzerano from the first family of professional wrestling. Just an amazing mom all around, amazing photographer, truly just an inspiration in this business. Mama Kim, we love you. And guys, like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other. We out. Peace.
Nunez rules.